Hello, everyone, and welcome. Tonight we are joined by the illustrious, the famous, the absolutely fantastic, the Wednesday crew, the Dirty Rollers, as I run
Hello.
these miscreants and murder hobos through Call of Cthulhu.
Oh, he remembered.
Oh yes.
Hi, Grim.
I always remember. I love your guys' campaign. I've been wanting to run Call of Cthulhu for a while. The wonderful Verbal Hero, he bought me for my birthday the Call of Cthulhu book, and ever since then I've been hooked on the system and been really wanting to run it. And when Lady Mistella redeemed the run a session for us, and said you wanted to Call of Cthulhu, I was like, yeah. I almost want to refund you your points because I just want to run this. So we're here. We'll introduce characters as we go on, but if anybody here has anything they'd like to say before we get started, do now because I'm amping to go.
No,
I'm ready.
I'm set. I'm good.
Yeah.
Bear with us. This is new to a lot of us.
None of us have played.
None of us
so
have played this.
Should be an interesting experience,
I forgot how Roll20 works.
right?
Yeah, we haven't used Roll20 in a while either. I
You're
have used
good.
it, but it's been a while.
And that is the biggest thing is everybody, we know we're going to make some mistakes, but the general, it's just, we're here to have fun. We're going to go. I'm here to help as much as we can. I've been brushing up as best as I can through everything, going through my books. I have my little book over here, but at the end of the day, we're here to have fun. If we make mistakes, we'll see it in the chat. You guys can blast as much as we want, but I'm going to kind of ignore it because I'm just here to have fun with these wonderful people. I'm going to be honest.
We got you. We'll cover chat.
And with that, we are going to get started with the Edge of Darkness. All of you in the upcoming weeks, to the start of the scenario, receive a letter of an old acquaintance of Rupert Merriweather, a real estate mogul in the city of Arkham. He's well known throughout the region, and in his past, in many different ways, he's helped you all, or family members that you once known. Everybody, let me know if the music is too loud, because I didn't balance it yet, but I will if I need to.
Good for me.
Good for me.
Yeah.
He invites you and informs you. Drop it 5 dB. Okay. 1 second. There we go. He informs you that he is in the St. Mary's Teaching Hospital, a very renowned and upscale hospital. They have the newest teaching techniques and some of the best equipment around. And even with his money and wealth, he informs you that he is dying. He wishes to see you again, as he has a favor to ask of you, and for some of you, some secrets that he needs to get off of his chest before he dies. Either by train, taxi, depending on the distance you've had to travel, you all find yourselves at the St. Mary's Teaching Hospital. I'll show you the... You see doctors and nurses running to and fro. It's a very busy hospital, as on a daily basis, the rooms are packed. Students running around everywhere trying to finish up their rounds, trying to get their studies in, and the doctors trying to keep everybody in line. You come to the front, and there's a receptionist. Oh, hi, hello. How may I help you? As you've all been sitting and waiting for some time, and until you've all arrived, she hasn't paid much attention to you, but seeing all 5 of you sit down is when she finally pipes up.
I believe she's talking to us. Yes, we're here to see Rupert Merriweather.
I've got to see rupees.
Yes,
Oh,
he called for us.
you must be the individuals. She counted you all. Yes, yes. We were expecting you. Please, give me a moment. I'll make sure he's ready for visitors, and I'll guide you all up.
Thank you, ma'am.
The voice.
Mm-hmm.
After a couple of minutes, she comes back. Yes, he is in fact ready for visitors. Please, if you can, don't overexert him too much. We've done the best we can, but at this point, we're just it's a matter of time. If you will all please follow me.
Yes. Let us go.
What do you do,
Indeed.
Kathy?
Yep. Ruby would get up with a sigh and follow everybody.
And as you all travel through the halls, if you could, please describe your characters for me. We'll start from left to right with Frank.
Frank is just a young student, 19 years old. He received the letter from Rupert, but it was addressed to his dad. His dad is dead, so he's taken up the responsibility as up and coming investigator.
Mortimer.
Mortimer is 5'6", somewhat pale, light brownish orange hair, shaved down, kind of widow's peak, with green eyes, with wireframe spectacles. Kind of eccentric clothes, or in a sense, just kind of more like the waistcoat has a strange design, but usual overcoat, and he has his knuckles wrapped up with just some old gauze.
And Catherine.
Oh, Catherine is a zoologist who loves learning about and caring for exotic animals. The more exotic, the better. Her mother is Margie Baskins. And even though she doesn't really approve of her mother's profession, she still very much loves and appreciates her mom for doing the best she could for her. Should I just shorten it at that?
That's where we can go as long as you'd like.
I'd kind of like to add that, you know what? I'll let C-Star add that. We'll let Margie add that part of the backstory. We'll let you go, Margie.
And I would like to apologize in advance if I sound funny. I have a very swollen lip. So Margie is tall and thin. She keeps herself well kept despite the cigarette smell. Her name is Elizabeth Margaret Baskins, but she just goes by Margie. She is indeed a lady of the night, and I'm not sure how much I should say her.
Mention the tiger, C-Star, at the zoo that Catherine works at.
So Margie at a young age had to take to the streets to make money to survive, and eventually came under the power of a pimp. And she got tired of all the abuse, so her and Catherine decided to dispose of him. Since her daughter has access to tigers. But yes, Rupees helped cover that up for us.
Oh, yes, that was probably an important thing to note. Rupert Merriweather is Catherine's father and Margie's past lover.
Last but not least, Rudy.
Rudy's just a kind of shortest guy. He's kind of about 32. He's doesn't really have nice clothes or anything. He's kind of down on his luck. He's a pilot. He used to work for Mr. Merriweather, dusting his crops. He hasn't heard from him in a long time. He quit after some weird incidents there. Kind of drove him away from it. And since he hasn't heard from him in a while, he's pretty interested and worried about his old employer. Interested to see what's going on.
Perfect. You're led through the halls, and you finally end up in a very well-to-do hospital bedroom. You see laying on the bed a very sickly looking, almost a shade of the man you once knew before, Rupert Merriweather. You see up against the bed right now, as some of you know, his wife Agnes and his weasel-like son, a 33-year-old Bertrand. Frank and Mortimer enter. Nothing seems to off. Same with Rudy. But as soon as Catherine and Margie enter the room, you can see the scowl and sneer on Agnes's face, and the almost annoyed, spoiled child look of Bertrand. As she's about to say something to both of you, Rupert pipes up, "No, no, no, my dear. I have called them here, and if you can please give me a moment to speak with all of these individuals. I have much to discuss with, I fear, a very short amount of time. So if you could, please go." See the scowl on Agnes's face grow more rigid. She walks past Margie and Catherine and spits on the floor before leaving the room.
Thank you, Agnes. You're such a dear.
How rude.
And Margie's gonna go rush to his side.
Oh, Rupees, I hate to see you like this.
Margie, it's been far too long. You're as
It really has.
virile as ever, seems. You'll outlive me far past this moment.
Frank is going to step up. Mr. Merriweather, you probably don't know me. My father, he's the one that was owing you a favor, but he's passed since then. I'm not sure if you're aware, so I'm here to repay his favor to you.
Is that little Frankie? My, you've
So
grown.
you do know me.
I was good colleagues with your father, and sad to say, I've fallen that much out of touch that I didn't know of his passing.
It was a pretty quiet event. Not many people showed up for him. Sad enough.
Well, I'm sorry that I wasn't there, Frankie, but I'm glad to see you, and I'm glad you're such a good man that you, even though you didn't owe me anything, you came here to repay your father's debt. That speaks a lot of your character. Leans over the edge of the bed, coughs up blood.
Oh, dear.
Oh, dear. Oh, no.
Margie gets out a hanky, little handkerchief.
Kathy, darling, come see your father.
Yes. She's gonna, like, awkwardly walk up to the bed. I'm sorry you're in such a position. Is there anything I can do for you?
I hate to ask this of you, Catherine, but there's something that all of you, I have a task that kind of looks around, making sure, sees all the doctors out in the hallway. You see Agnes out in the, just like yelling at one of the doctors, pointing at all of you. You can probably tell she wants you all out. You could please shut the door.
Mortimer would go to the end to just kind of close the doors, and at the last second just kind of give a glance, and then close the door, and then hurry back to the bed.
Time Rudy's just going to look uncomfortable, like he didn't know this was going to be a kind of a dual family affair. Thought he was just coming to see his boss one last time and see what was going on. So he's kind of hanging out in the corner.
I see Agnes is lovely as ever, dear.
Yes, a marriage of convenience, at best. I really am sorry that we could not have met on better terms, but all of you, either through favors or through past experiences, I feel that I can trust you with a final task that I myself was too cowardly to do in my life, and when I finally did get the courage, I became bedridden by the syphilis I contracted from you, Margie.
You're welcome.
I'm just kidding. Sorry.
Oh
my God.
dear mother.
I didn't know at the time, back in the war it was kind of common.
Oh,
This is the
this is
1920s. It's
awful.
hard to treat. It's not your fault, Margie. It's everywhere.
Wow. Just so
Right.
casual.
Frank took half a step back.
Rudy goes red.
Margie's gonna look at Rudy.
You all right, dear?
Unexpected all.
You're not looking too well.
No, uncomfortable in places like this, situations like this. Pulls his jacket, his bomber jacket, a little bit tighter, and shoves his hands in his pockets.
Well, you see, in my youth, I and some fellow students became involved in what at first we believed to be some innocent exploration of the occult. As he says that, he looks over at Mortimer. We were led by a significantly older man named Morian Allen. Together we all purchased an old farmhouse a few miles from here, near the village of Rose's Corner. At first we conducted small seances and others, physical research in privacy. Alas, though, our work had unforeseen results. As one of my companions, he believes he found a way to summon a djinn, an entity that could grant our wishes. And in our, to be honest, our greed, we conducted a ritual to summon this djinn, but as the ritual went on, we summoned something of not of this world, but not a djinn, some type of entity. Before it could completely manifest into our world, we bound it to that farmhouse. The magic we use in the ritual to summon it, we also were able to change it, to bind it there so that it could not escape. And, well, all my colleagues, part of that ritual, will have died or will have passed away. And, well, I fear that with my passing, magic keeping that creature bound to that place will disappear, and that horrible monstrosity that we summoned, it will be free to roam our world.
Oh, this is.
Where did you get the idea to play with such things?
Yes, I had no idea you were into such things.
I was a man. We were a part of society, of people who investigated and researched the history of old and understanding the unknown, and well, we thought we could do better. We thought we could do more. And in our hubris, we may have done more harm than good in this world.
Yep. Boss, is that thing you're talking about? Does it have anything to do with why I left? The stuff I was seeing out in the fields.
That's why I understand now. I wondered why you left my employ, Rudy. I seems to be able to wander the grounds. The people have been talking about seeing shimmers of blue light. That's why I fear that when I pass that it may be completely free to move the grounds. The world, in fact, was originally bound to the house, but it seems with each passing member of the ritual, well, its circle of entrapment gets weaker and weaker.
Yeah, that strange sights and all. I didn't want to be around that no more, boss. Or Mr. Mortimer, sir.
I understand, Rudy, but I covered up when you accidentally hit that man with your propeller.
Oh, yeah, that. How was he?
My lord.
A lot of things
He
come
was
to
a he was a teacher at the school of wheelchair-bound boys, and it was a lot to cover up.
Oh, God.
You're
Oh,
a
no.
monster.
Oh my god.
Well,
Good
did he make it?
heavens.
Did they have to replace him?
No, he was dead. There was nothing to replace.
Oh, oh yeah. There's a lot of bad things at that farm. Couldn't
Yes,
stay there no
well,
more.
I understand. Like I said, if I had... All of you have had moments, dark moments in your past that bind you to this as much as it binds me, and if I had others that I think could handle such a task, I would have asked them, but those I trusted dearly have all gone away, and now I reach out to those that I believe at least feel they owe me a little bit in my final moments.
Yeah, yeah, we can help. I don't think that'll be a problem. Right,
Anything for
guys?
you, rupees.
I
Mr. You go first, sorry.
Oh, God.
So, okay.
It's the you go first. No, you go
Okay,
first.
okay. I'm sorry. All right. Mr. Merriweather, you mentioned a circle of entrapment. Now, is there any tomes I need to dig through to anything in specifics that I need to find? Like, I don't know, just different elements needed for it, like sage or anything of that sort?
He taps a box. You see a very ornate, well-made box with a iron lock latch on top of it. All of my research and information on past rituals that I've been able to research, it's all here. I believe one of my friends went back and buried some other things there, but like I said, I'm afraid to admit I've been too fearful to go back there past the time in my youth. As he looks over at Catherine and Margie, as you remember the summer times you would spend there when you were younger at the farm. The little love hideaway for him and Margie.
I always loved those wildflowers.
I did enjoy being out in nature.
Now, can we just, is this one of those things where we just go out there with a cross and say some prayers and throw some salt?
With it, I fully don't know what the creature could be. One of my companions, he sent me a letter saying he thought he found a way to deal with the creature, but I was too afraid to go back by myself.
Do you have the letter? Anything,
Yes.
anything we have to help might go a long way, boss.
I have this, and he opens up the box and he pulls out an old journal.
Mm.
Wow.
Everything I have here is what I have for you all to help you with this task. You all, I would like to have a moment alone with each of you if I could.
Oh,
Yeah, sure thing.
certainly.
Absolutely,
Mr. Merriweather.
rupees.
Rudy, could I talk to you first?
Even look around all nervous. Yeah, sure.
Come along, Kathy. Let's go say hi to Agnes in the hallway.
Ugh, I suppose if I must.
On the way out, Frank is gonna look at Mortimer. Hey, what happened to your hands? Normal. Finish the conversation in the hallway.
you would just hear about how nuns didn't like my knuckles, so they would just rap them with yardsticks so many times. That's about the extent of it.
Oh my god. Oh, and actually, I didn't show you guys Mortimer. There's Mortimer.
Or
You mean Merriweather?
Yeah, Merriweather, yes.
Merriweather?
Mortimer.
Oh,
I was like, where'd I get the name Mortimer?
Cute.
I thought I aged. I was like, oh no. I'm succumbing to it.
Oh, I love him.
So
Sorry.
as you all exit through, Rudy, you're left there alone with Rupert. You see he's just holding a hanky to his face, wiping off. As you see what almost kind of looks like the blood in coming out of his mouth is very, very, very dark.
boss, that doesn't look so good. Should I go get somebody?
No, it's all right. I need to have a talk with you. I know, Rudy, that you've had a tough life after the war. And, why I hired you to tend to the farm the best you could, as I could see that look in your eyes that I've had before, seeing things that you can't unsee, and that's why I called on you for this, because I fear that while some of the others feel they owe me and will do anything for me, you're the one who, depending on whatever you might find there, is able to handle what you might find.
I mean, maybe. Seen a lot of things, boss. Can't say I'm really looking forward to going back there, but I'll do what I can. Is there a glass of water like on a table or something nearby? He'll try to hand it to Mr. Merriweather.
Oh, thank you. And he takes it and does a big drink. Yeah. I do have one thing for you. And he goes into the box and pulls out a slip. And he hands it to you. I heard you gave up flying. But I feel you still have much to do in that regard. And I have one last favor for you if you can complete this task. And you'll see that they have you'll see a certificate of teaching at one of the airfields just outside Arkham. And you'll see Professor Rudy Johnson.
Mm.
Oh, uh,
Aw.
thanks,
Oh,
boss. You sure I'm cut out for that sort of thing? It's, seems like a tall order.
I've seen you fly, and I've heard the stories of the things you flew through in the war. I think you can make a bunch of very well-to-do pilots with your skills, Rudy.
I suppose I can't exactly turn it down on all that. I'll give it a shot. I think I can maybe remember some of the stuff. Yeah.
Thank you. Could you send in Frank for me?
Oh yeah. The nice dressed kid out there.
Yes.
Yeah, sure. Mm, Yeah, I'll send him right in. He'll just take one look back as he's wandering out and uh, go find Frank out in the hallway. Hey, Frank, is it? Uh, boss wants to see you.
Oh, thanks. Uh, I'll listen to the rest of that story when I come back, Mortimer. I'm gonna pat him on the shoulder and walk in.
Mortimer nods.
Mr. Merriweather, you wanted to see me?
You see, as you enter Frank, his face goes very somber, almost of sadness. Frank, I'm very happy to see you. When the rest were around, I wasn't exactly truthful, and I apologize. I I knew of your father's passing.
Frank's just gonna take his hat off. Yeah, it wasn't that long ago, but seeing your condition, it's understandable why you couldn't make it.
Up until about a month or so ago, I was as healthy as could be. I'm sure you remember your father was as well before his passing.
Yeah, it was pretty sudden, unexpected.
Sorry to tell you, you're my boy, but once again, I am a man who is quite cowardly, and I couldn't face you or your mother when I knew the truth that your father was one of my friends in my youth who took part in this ritual. Though I could never prove it, I fear that me and my other friends were cursed that day. When I heard of how he passed and how quickly I jumped to conclusions and just I couldn't face the reality of what part I had in his death.
Oh, I had no idea. He'd never really spoke about any rituals. He just said that he was, working for you as your lawyer.
He was one of my best friends. That's why I made sure that you and your mother were well taken care of after his passing, and I wasn't going. I was asked when I sent you the letter. I sent it because I wanted to talk to you, Frank. I pretended not to know of your father's passing, but I felt it was the only way I could get you here. I just wanted to say I'm sorry for being such a coward in my past.
I see. He's gonna walk up and put his hand on his hand. We all gotta do what we gotta do sometimes. It's not really your fault you didn't know. It sounds like the ritual was meant for something else, and it just went sideways on you.
Yes. But no, I have put aside, and he'll hand you like he'll go into the box and grab a couple bonds and gives you these pieces of paper. Your mother, I called her before your arrival. She told me that you haven't yet decided what to do with your life, and well, I hope these don't show my wife or my idiot of a son, but have these, and depending on where you go, these will pay more than enough for your way through school. Your father was a great man, and I know you can be as well.
He's gonna look at him. Are you sure this is a lot of money?
I can't take it with me. And to those who, over my time, I don't feel they'll use it to the best use that I hope.
I really appreciate it. He's gonna tuck him inside of his suit jacket pocket.
I hope you can forgive me. I am sorry to ask this of you, but I feel, as you are connected to it like your father, if the curse may have spread over to you, you can lift it.
Is there something in the journal maybe that could help us lift it?
The journal is all the research I had, and I know there should be things there that we may have overlooked in our past that should be able to help you get rid of this creature.
We'll definitely do our best to take care of it.
Thank you. Would you be able to send in Catherine and Margie for me?
Both of them. Okay, yeah, I can do that. Open the door and go out. Hey, Margie, Catherine, Mr. Merriweather would like to speak with you.
Yes,
Absolutely.
of course.
Agnes, your hair looks really nice today. I like the way you've got it colored.
And then she's gonna go in.
You see, she starts like yelling obscenities, and as soon as the door shuts, she just you all use out there. She yells, "Why are you allowed?" Mister Merriweather informed us he's paying us very handsomely to make sure that his last wishes are being well met and well. And you see security walk up, and Agnes is like, "Okay, okay," and calms down.
She's quite unpleasant.
I'm sorry, Rupees. I just can't help myself.
And you see as you all enter, like Rupert is pushing himself up on the bed, and he's trying to like make himself look the best he can. As he's still, even though he's on his deathbed, he's wearing a nice suit, probably expecting you all to be here and want to look his best. Kind of is you see as the door is opening, he's like combing his hair, and as sees you enter, he puts it down and pretends he wasn't doing that.
Oh, you're just handsome as ever, Rupees. Come, Kathy, let's get closer so he doesn't have to yell.
Yes, indeed.
First, I want to say, Catherine, Margie, that those times when we were younger up in the farm, well, those were some of the best times. Even though I feared that whatever we summoned may have been around, the moment with you all there were some of my happiest, and as you know, my marriage with Agnes was that of convenience, of stature, and well, I'm sorry I couldn't be the man that you all needed.
Oh, no, love, no. You've done everything you possibly could for us. And, you know I tend to be a little bit of a stain on the eye, so I understand. And I cannot ever repay you for what you've done for Kathy.
Yes. Father, you've been a great help. for me to be able to do what I do today as a zoologist, and I get to study all the animals that I love. It is truly a dream that I am not sure I could have had if you hadn't helped pay for that.
I was not a father, I was a bank at best. I appreciate your kind words, Catherine, but I could understand if you resent me. It would be completely understandable.
Oh, no, not at all. Not at all. I understand that things do not always work out as planned, and sometimes things are just difficult, and that's just how it is. I think things have worked out for the most part.
He'll reach into his box and he'll grab out a folder of papers and a key.
This is the last thing I can give to you, Catherine. When I pass, I know Agnes and Bertrand will seize everything they can as quickly as they can. So I had my lawyers write this up for you. They know not of the farm. But I remember you all enjoying it. And here,
He'll give you a piece of paper. When you open the folder, you'll see the deed for the property and a key to the farmhouse.
if you can clear it out, it is yours. I've also left money with the lawyer that you all can repair it. Marge, you no longer need to walk the streets at your old age. Retire in the farmhouse.
Rubies?
Oh, this is. I don't even know what to say.
We will treat that farm with the love that we've always had for it. I just wish you could see it.
And she has
I
a
wish we could rock
nicotine-stained
that.
tear go down her cheek.
I wish I could have been a better man to both of you, but
You've been more of a
can no
man than
longer
anyone I've
regret-
ever known.
far too kind. Far too kind. I will just be sad that I'll never be able to tap that again.
Father! Mother!
I mean, we could have Kathy leave for a moment.
No, the syphilis has gone too far.
Mother!
It no longer works.
I don't think mine does either.
Thank you. If you don't mind, would you be able to send in more for me?
Yes,
Absolutely,
yes,
dear.
let's do that. Yes, she feels very awkward.
Now, if they're
with this
going,
conversation.
as they're going out the door, Margie will be like,
Kathy, don't be such a prude. How do you think we made you?
I am well aware, Mother. I do study animals and I know what happens. I don't need to hear about it, however, when it comes to you and Father.
Hey, Morty. Morty,
Yes, yes.
he wants to see you, love.
All right. And he'll just kind of walk by, and he just kind of has his hand to his chest. It looks like he's touching something that might be on the underside of the shirt that's just hidden, but whatever it is, it can't be made out. And he will enter the chamber and close the door.
Mortimer, it is nice to see you.
Hello,
again.
sir. It's good to see you too, sir.
I hope that path I set you upon so many years ago that you haven't delved too far in. I fear I may have made a mistake showing you behind the curtain.
I think it's better to prepare for what lies beyond the veil than to live in mystery and fear of it. Though we can't step too far being humans and such. But that's in our nature, unfortunately.
I knew I was right to call you. Mortimer, you've looked into these things, you've done the research, and well, I feel you're going to be the best prepared for what needs to be done there. I don't know exactly how you may either bind it permanently, maybe rip it from our realm, or if you have to, I don't know if it can be killed, but if there is a way, I'm sure you'll be able to find it there at the farmhouse. So I know I hate to ask you to go there, but you could also try the Miskatonic University.
Do you think they would allow me? Like, that library is... I don't know, that library is something I've never been able to get into before.
You will now. As I said, we were a part of an organization in our youth, and I have transferred my membership to you under my recommendation. You need to prove yourself, but you will at least be able to peruse the books of the university.
Mm.
Mortimer is he's quiet, and he just kind of he approaches the bed, and he kneels down to give a hug to Rupert.
As you're about to hug him,
this is something. Uh-oh.
he holds you back for a second.
I need to tell you something that may change the way you feel about me, Rupert.
Ooh.
Okay.
Drama.
Lets it a long, drawn-out sigh.
Louise, I know you've never been the same after she disappeared. Well, though I know not where she is now, I know where she left to. She was more well versed in the occult than you were when we first met, and I trusted her with this task before you. She left to
Mortimer
look up
stands
how
up.
to.
He looks.
Sorry.
But please understand. I didn't know she would disappear. I tasked her with trying to find a way to dispel the creature, and I didn't know.
Sorry, it was the basic human response that took over for a second. I'm still listening.
She found this. One of my associates. He had it in the past, and well, we thought it to be lost, but she sent me a letter recently. I thought she was dead for sure, but with the letter she sent me,
I can pull it up right here. God damn it.
Uh-oh.
He will pull out of this box a sarcophagus.
Oh.
My
Told me
God.
that she couldn't decipher the hieroglyphics on it, but from the research in the past that this may at one point been the vessel that contained the entity long ago. Don't know if you can use it in the ritual, but it may be a key. And she informed me to give you this.
He gives you a key.
Mm.
Is it a standard key or is it like a
As you
weird
look
little?
on it, you'll see that it is one of those like locker keys. It has on the back, it has a 1A labeled onto the key. And you remember that whenever you would go out and you would go, like, where would it be? You know that the post office you two had a box together with. This is the same key from that post office. So you can
Oh.
assume that this is a key to a lockbox at that post office.
Mortimer reaches for the key and he is dumbfounded. He wasn't expecting to hear anything like this. He'll
Hey.
look at Rupert and say, "Oh, sorry, you go."
No, you go. Yep.
He'll say, I never knew that about Louise.
And I should have told you. And I'm sorry I didn't sooner.
And as he leans up like he's going to say one more thing to you, he starts to cough and continues coughing. He leans over, falls over to the side of the bed, and just continues to keep coughing.
No.
I would call out and say, "Get a doctor! Somebody bring a doctor now!"
You see,
Ooh.
like all of you hear Mortimer yelling. You hear the coughing, like the of like just huge coughs, and you see him like spouting bouts of blood. Mortimer on the ground over and over. You hear
Oh
and you
my
see doctors
God.
start to rush into the room. What do you all do?
Rupees!
Oh, perhaps I can
Rupees!
help. She's sort of panicking, tries to run in the room because she knows like first aid and stuff. Even though she's in a hospital, she feels like she needs to help.
As you all, yep.
I was just say Rudy's just gonna try to like hold the door open and stand out, hang out in the back.
Okay.
Frank also knows first aid, so he's gonna rush it.
So Frank, Mortimer, Catherine, and Margie are all in the room, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Frank and Catherine, you get up, you trying to help him. You can see he's wheezing, like very deep breaths. It almost feels like he's getting his skin's getting tighter as you touch him. If you both want to roll me a first aid, you can.
First aid.
Some roll.
Oh, jeez. First roll of the game.
I'm looking for it. Here we go.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice.
So as you both rolling your first aid, like he's coughing violently, blood being spit up, you're both attending to him, rolling him over, giving him something to drink, calming him down. His haggard breathing, like he's trying to say something, but he can't seem to get it out. But as you're helping him, assisting him, he takes a deep swallow. He looks up at both of you. Looks over at Catherine. I love you. Looks over at Frank. I'm so sorry. And you start to see you've applied everything you could. You know you've helped him. You were able to get out this last breath. As you see his veins start to encroach up his neck, his skin getting tighter, lets out in a final cough as his mouth gurgles up with this like thick, almost ichorish black blood, and his eyes roll into his head, and his skin just almost completely goes to paper thin. I need everybody who can see more Merryweather right now to roll me a sanity check.
Oh no.
Oh, sanity.
But the only one who doesn't is Rude.
sanity.
So do I just click on sanity then?
Yep.
Okay.
Your coward is working.
Oh god.
Oh no.
Critical fail.
Lewis! Oh,
Do I just
Wait,
like
where's the
vomit
insanity
all
at?
over?
It's near the top, sea star.
Oh, no, wrong one. There we go. Switch these
You'll see hit
Yes.
points, magic points, and
Okay.
it's right under magic points.
Lewis, we talked about this. We don't want to roll high.
over. Mhm.
I can't help it.
Go back
D&D,
to your
man.
usual low rolling. That will win here.
Ah, yeah, I should, right?
All right.
Just pretend
So
that I'm playing D&D.
Yeah.
last one, we're just Margie.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh, no problem.
I'm looking at my page here.
Yeah, very top of your sheet,
Mhm.
you'll see it. It's right under magic points and hit points.
Magic points and hit points.
It's in like that green section at the top.
Yep, at the top.
Why am I dumb? Is it in the character sheet?
Yep, your first character sheet, like we're in the green section, you'll see like strength, dexterity, everything like that. And then on the far right, you'll see hit points, magic points, and sanity.
Uh...
Do you see all the spots? to say?
Oh, hit point.
Okay.
Okay, there it is. God,
Perfect.
I'm dumb.
So,
Got it.
And so how do I?
Catherine, Mortimer, and Margie. This is the process of death. You're okay. You can push through it. You've seen death in your past. It upsets you, but it doesn't really cause you too much mental strain. You knew it was coming, but for Frank, you're reliving it again. The exact same thing happened with your father. And you have a moment where you think, no, the idea of like a curse, the idea of something greater than just an illness causing these deaths. And he says to you, those words ring through your mind for a moment. Maybe he hopes the curse doesn't pass on through the blood. As you see the blood pool into his mouth, and where you first saw Merryweather, you see your father, Arthur, in his final throes of death once again. And I need you to take 1 point of sanity.
Oh.
No,
Ooh.
no, not again.
Oh.
He's just gonna kind of turn around and walk out of the room, trying to make sure there's no blood on him.
So you're all there trying to help Merryweather. The doctors, the nurses, Agnes, his son, kind of like all push you back. They're like, please, we need to. They're checking on him. They're checking his pulse. We need everybody. We need to clear the room. Everybody, please get out.
Yeah, she's like stuttering and kind of walks out of the room very unnerved.
Margie's a little hesitant and staggers out into the hall. Thanks. He was the only man I really loved. And she just collapses and falls to her knees.
Mother, I'm here. And she's like kneels down beside her, puts an arm around her.
Why couldn't I have done more for him?
I believe you did your best, Mother. I think we all did.
She just sobs.
Mortimer would walk out with the key to the locker as well as the little mini sarcophagus that Merryweather was giving him. Just kind of dumbfounded again.
How big is that thing?
I was
Only about
wondering
that
that
big.
too, actually.
Size of a glass doll.
Yeah, actually, like the size of a doll almost. Like if you had a little one of those China dolls, this would fit in the sarcophagus.
Oh. Hmm.
So currently, you all have a journal, the deed, the key to the farmhouse, and this sarcophagus.
Oh.
All right. I'm writing things. All right.
As you're sitting out in the hall, you can hear the doctors. They're doing their best. Some of them are checking his pulse. Others are trying to do CPR. They're doing anything to see if they can resuscitate him. But you can hear like the weeping of Agnes in the hospital room. She cries because everything they're doing, nothing seems to work. The doctors are yelling back and forth, just doing everything they can. But after a while, a somber tone starts to overcome the room. Everybody kind of shuts down. The doctor comes out to all of you in the hallway. I apologize, but the family needs some time to mourn with Mr. Merriweather. We hope your final moments with him were good ones. But sadly, he has passed from this world.
Family. Yes.
And she wipes away some tears.
I think Catherine would also be crying, not as dramatically, but she would also be crying, I think.
So
Who is
yeah.
the one with the journal?
Oh yeah, who took the journal?
I thought that was you. Oh, I thought that was you. Or no, wait, no, he gave you the deed to the
Mhm.
deed and key to
Yeah,
the
we got the
He
farmland.
he,
So then,
he said he had the journal. Just I didn't know. He was pretty much showing you all you could take it. I don't know if anybody, whoever
Yeah.
would have took it, can take it.
I think, was I the one that asked what he had to help?
Yes. So
Yeah,
you would
I
have
think.
you would get the journal for sure.
Yeah. So Rudy will take the journal then.
Rudy, as you're walking through the hallway, as you're all kind of being ushered out of the hospital, a slip of paper will fall out of the journal.
Oh. So, do you want me to read it?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. It's dear friends, in the years after the nightmarish events of that night in my youth, I have seen many strange things. Only now do I begin to grasp the truth of reality and the scope of what is happening in the world. I've tried, in my small way, to combat the horrors and make amends for my part in bringing one to our plane of existence. What I've left to offer, what riches and wealth I have, I will put to good use in dealing with these abominations. It's the very least this old coward can do. I could never make myself go back to that little farmhouse and put those events to rights. I too gravely feared that which my friends and I loosed upon this countryside. Nothing of consequence has yet taken place, but with my death, I fear the bonds will be broken and that horror freed to come and go as it pleases. Lives not yet taken already weigh heavy on my conscience. The method of delivering the thing out of this world is still in that accursed house. The translations made by Marion from the book De Vermis Mysterious. Sorry if I slaughtered that. I was never strong enough to take on the task, but I have hope that you are. In ridding the world of this, perhaps you will save my soul from hell, for I fear that my deeds have not been enough to release me from this heavy burden. I do not expect your forgiveness for what I ask from you, Rupert Merriweather.
Mm.
Poor Rupees. I like him.
Oh. I'm scared.
So, when Rudy reads this, he let's see. I'm going to gotta look real fast at so he'll look at it and he'll kind of make a note of the mention of translations. He has no idea what the hell that book is. He can barely pronounce it. But the guy that he just met today, that Mortimer fella, he thinks Mortimer might have a little more knowledge about things like that.
yes, I can help. Sorry about that. Knocked into something.
So, Mortimer, you can either roll me if you have it a history or an occult.
History or a cult.
And while you've been doing that, we can do a double roll. Mortimer, have you been looking at the sarcophagus at all?
I would say he would have kind of glanced at it like right before Meriwether kind of rolled over to the side. But yeah, I'm gonna roll a cult if I was given the opportunity.
Success. So you do recall
Mm.
in your research the Verimus Mysterious. It is a tome of different like mythological folklore from all over the world, Egyptian cultures, Aztec cultures, like lost cultures that are almost myth, but some people do in fact believe that they're cultures from the past. And in these books, they have pictures, drawings, all sorts of entities that may have been at one point in time either in this world or been seen or witnessed. It's a history of mysterious creatures and how to some talk about how to deal with them, talk with them, others how to bring them into the existence of the world. It's a book of creatures from the history and how entities in the past dealt with them.
That's
Mm.
badass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me, Melissa
I-
was
I-
that.
Mortimer would share that, but then he would say, maybe we should find a place that's quiet and away from Agnes and Bertram, just to avoid any possible confrontation.
You'll hear wailing.
Yes.
It was that woman and her syphilis. She's the reason why my Meriwether is dead.
Yes,
Syphilis.
perhaps we should find another place.
My
Are there any
rupees.
suggestions?
Margie's
Did
just gonna lean on Kathy over dramatically.
So, anybody have a place we could maybe meet up and make a plan?
Hmm.
We
So
could go
I
to
will
my little
for all of you.
apartment.
You can all go to your apartments, your buildings. You can all go there. He did inform you. You all know where the deed is. That it is the farmhouse is outside a small hamlet of Ross's Corner. Little small village. You know, it's very quaint. Just a couple miles outside of Arkham. If you all want to recoup there, you could. Otherwise, you do know that like the Miskatonic University. If you want to do any research, you could go there. Otherwise, you could just recoup,
Mm.
read the journal, whatever you all want to do.
Ooh.
So would Rudy having worked there and stuff, and like anyone else that's been to the farmhouse, they would all know what's like around in that village, right?
Oh yeah, you know like there's a very nice like corner store, general store. There's some coffee shops. It's a very quaint small village. And you know as well like when you were talking about you seen crazy things, they all buy into exactly what you're selling as well. 'Cause, like yeah, that place is cursed, and everybody feels there is just a general evil that is at that farmhouse, and many people avoid it for that reason. But also a lot of the farmers are upset because it's such prime farmland that they've been trying to get Meriwether to sell it to them so they could at least use the field for years and years and years and years.
Okay. Yeah. So Rudy would mention that there's a couple coffee shops, or I don't know, if there's a restaurant or anything like a diner or something like that there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he would mention that since it's a little bit closer, unless Mortimer, unless you need to go to your university. Seems like
Oh
this would be
yeah.
a good spot to meet.
University sounds like it could be good too.
How close would the post office box receptacles and such be from where we're at?
If you all had access to a car, like hail down a taxi or anything like that, I'd probably say you could get there within half an hour.
Mm. Do
With
any
how
of
the
us have a
cars are,
car?
Oh, with how the cars are nowadays, would all of us be able to ride in a taxi? Or
All
would
of
it kind of
you,
be like,
as long as someone were sit in the front, then you could all fit in one. It'd be tight for sure.
Mortimer
I
would
could do that.
hail a cab and say, I'll take care of the taxi. I need to grab something first. And he'll try to hail a taxi.
Yeah, easy enough. You put up your hand, taxi cab company. Where are you going? We'll take you there.
Need to go to the post office with my companions.
Easy enough. Just jump on in here. That'll be about 75 cents, please.
75
Alright.
cents.
Oh, I'm good.
Frankie's just gonna whistle. Like,
5 cents.
damn, that's a lot.
Yeah, Rudy pats himself down and doesn't have his 2 coins jingling together and just looks over at Mortimer.
I can pay it.
And Margie's looking through her little pocketbook and just sobbing still.
Rubies.
Margie, you know, you're grieving right now. You just take care of yourself. I'll take care of this, okay?
I'll sit in the front.
Okay.
Yeah, as you're driving and Margie's just sobbing in the front. He's like, "Ah, man, you all look like someone died. You're hysterical." Just keeps driving.
Oh.
Does this driver look
God.
uncomfortable at all?
No. He's like, "I've seen death. I picked you up from the hospital."
Yeah, we're not leaving
Shame about
Margie
that
alone.
polio. Sorry.
We're not leaving Margie
Diabetes
alone
is
to
all the
give
rage
tips.
nowadays. It can't be cured. Fun fact:
like boiled
diabetes in
food. How about
1920s,
you?
major killer.
Yeah.
I actually forgot that was the case. Yes.
Yeah, I did a
I
lot
read
of. I
about
did
that.
some 1920s research before this game, and it was like, what's the most common death that could happen at a hospital? It was like syphilis is one, diabetes is
Wow.
another one.
Oh, diabetes. I didn't think about diabetes.
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 When I saw syphilis, I was like, oh, this would be perfect for Margie.
Yeah.
Oh God.
My apologies. I just got sidetracked. But as you all move on, you arrive at the post office. You remember this one, Mortimer. You haven't been here for a while because after you were a little bit discredited and after losing her, you moved on to a little bit of shabbier accommodations. But you do remember, and as you're like walking through, there's that same smell to it and kind of thrusted back in past as you look at the post office box and you remember as Louise was looking at you, always looking through the bills, and she would grab out and always would have a newspaper underneath of her arm walking around. Even though she may have read it, she still kept it because she always just wanted to double check the articles when she would get home.
Hmm.
He just kind of holds that key in his right hand and he just kind of approaches the door. He walks in.
You see the mailboxes all lined up, and you see where all like the packages be delivered, and you can see where this type of key would work.
Ooh.
Do I see A1?
Yep.
Or 1A? Sorry. I got the
Yep,
hot,
1A.
got the steak sauce on the mind. I will use the key and unlock 1A.
As you open it up, you find that there are some older, dustier tomes inside of the mailbox and a letter sealed on top.
Oh God.
Would
I'm
you say
scared.
like how many dusty tomes would there be?
About 3.
Ooh.
Unopened letter.
You see one of ancient hieroglyphics. You see another one of ancient cultures and understandings. and then you will see one of unknown folklore of ancient creatures.
Ooh, I want to read the folklore one.
Yeah, that sounds badass.
Hieroglyphics, creatures, and ancient understandings, you said?
Yep.
Awesome.
So, while Mortimer's grabbing all the books, Rudy's kind of embarrassed and kind of sort of at a whisper next to Mortimer says, Mortimer, what's the thing that he said was the house? The creature?
Well, he said that he said that him and his colleagues were trying to summon a djinn. And,
Yeah. What's that thing?
would Mortimer have any passing knowledge about what a djinn is?
With your the level your occult score is at, I would say yes. You would. You know that jinn are well known as not so much. You know them not as like genies, right? They are spirits of like
Yeah.
the elemental plane. They are a part of the world, but they do have the energy to bestow kindness amongst people. But they are also known to either be uh, tricksters, nice, or benevolent. So depending on which one you get, it is all depending kind of a roll of the dice of what they are. But normally, if you get in kind with them, people gain boons, either like the great health, great wealth, great luck, things like that. But if you do mate like a benevolent jinn that does not take a liking to you, most people are either cursed or die at their hands.
Hmm.
Mortimer would share that information about the gin with them, and but there was something that Rupert said that Mr. Merriweather said that makes me wonder. They said that they feel that they're, one second, notes. They're in a circle of entrapment, or their summoning circle, whatever it was. There's a blue light to it, and maybe they succeeded in summoning a djinn. They just got the muddy end of the stick, or maybe there was a misreading on the ritual, and sometimes just the slightest misreading might result in something else coming through the veil.
I'm scared.
Well, if those are the two kinds, then sounds like Boss got maybe the not so kind. So Rudy's clueless as to supernatural stuff. It scares him, and that's about all he knows.
But these tomes that were left behind might be able to at least help uncover precisely what it was. And who knows? I can only imagine what's in this letter.
Yeah, letter. Read the letter.
This might be one of those times before we start reading the letters that we might need to go somewhere like a coffee shop that you mentioned or something like that.
Oh,
Everybody's
yes.
had a long trip, and maybe we can use a little bit of respite before getting down to business.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think we could tell the taxi driver how to get to where we're going.
I got the taxi covered.
Shall we go?
Wait,
All right.
hey, Frank, kid, are you good to go?
Yeah, I should be okay to go. Still a little shaken up about the whole blood thing.
Can Mortimer kind of walk up to Frank and just kind of pull him off to the side for a second. I